All right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. We're going to continue our three-game series between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees won Game 1 by a score of 6-0 as they shut out the Bo Sox. And we're playing at Fenway Park, so this is at home for Boston. Boston tries to even up the series here. It will be Nick Pivetta starting the game for Boston against Clark Schmidt. The actual starter in this game was Caleb Ort. He was an opener, and then they had sort of a bullpen type game. I'm going to go ahead and Pivetta came in to the game, so I'm going to go ahead and start the game with Pivetta, see how far he can go. He can actually go 15 batters. I'm not a huge fan of the opener idea, especially on the desktop, the tabletop. It kind of is strange to me on the tabletop. So I'd rather put Pivetta out there for 4 or 5 innings to start the game and see how he can do against this lineup. So we're going to do that, and Ort is an option in the game. So is there was another pitcher, Chris Murphy. I've got him available as well, so probably going to need him. Probably going to need both of them, so I'm just going to keep them in there. So they'll be the ones who pitched in this game, but I'm just going to try to move through the game my way. So just putting that out there. Let's go through the lineups. Mostly the same, but there's some additions and subtractions. For New York, it's Jake Bauers playing left and leading off. Giancarlo Stanton is the DH. He's hitting second. Gleyber Torres at second base hitting third. Anthony Rizzo at first base hitting fourth. DJ LeMahieu gets the start at third base. He is hitting fifth. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is in center field. Not in the infield, but in center field. And he's hitting sixth. Billy McKinney moves over to right field. He's hitting seventh. Jose Trevino, the catcher, is hitting eighth. And Anthony Volpe, the shortstop, is hitting ninth. On the mound is going to be Clark Schmidt. Talented young pitcher, about a 430-ish, 435 FIP overall. And for Boston, it'll be Alex Verdugo in right field leading off. Justin Turner is at first base. He is hitting second. Devers is at third base. He's hitting third. Adam Duvall in center field. He'll be hitting in the cleanup spot. Yoshida is the DH in this game. He's hitting fifth. Arroyo is at second base. He's hitting sixth. Jaron Duran gets the start in left field. He's hitting seventh. Kike Hernandez is at shortstop. He's hitting eighth. And Connor Wong moves down to the ninth spot. He will be catching in this one. Like I said, it's Nick Pivetta on the mound for Boston. I'm making the executive decision on that. He can go 15 for his stamina. And you can see excellent against both righties and lefties. Better against right-handers. Just had more innings pitched, but K percentage right around 31.5 for the season, and not a great walk percentage, 8%, a little bit better than average, I believe. Mostly a fly ball pitcher, so we'll see if he can keep the ball in the park. All right, let's get started with this one. This will be Pivetta against Jake Bauers, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gleyber Torres. Bowers is going to be a 1-3 for control, so not a good opportunity there for him. 230 off of the pitcher card against the lefty is going to be a fly ball. A fly out to left field, and 198, no problem for the left fielder. That's going to be out number 1. So 1 down in the top of the first. It'll be Giancarlo Stanton to the plate. That's a 6. Giancarlo is going to be a 1-3 also for control. So a lot of these are going to come off of Pivetta's card just because he has the highest rating that you can have against both lefties and righties. 371 is going to be another fly ball. That goes to left field and another catch in left field by Duran. So it's 2 outs in the inning. 2 flyouts to left, and it will be Gleyber Torres to the plate. Gleyber is pretty good against righties. He's a +4, so he's only going to be a 1-8 for control. 887 comes off the pitcher card, and 887 against a righty is going to be a hit by pitch, as Pivetta comes in hard against Gleyber Torres and clips him with the pitch. It'll be Anthony Rizzo to the plate with 1 out, or 2 outs and 1 on. Rizzo is 0 against righties, so he's a 1-4 for control. This is off the pitcher. This will be a ground ball, and that grounder goes to the shortstop. Shortstop makes the play. That's Kike Hernandez. His mom calls him Enrique. He's going to make the catch. This is with a runner at first base and 2 outs. 886 is here, and that's going to be a 6-3 put out as he goes the long way to first. And we're out of the first inning with no score, or without at the top of the first. No score as the Yankees strand 1, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. Boston gets their first cracks at Clark Schmidt, and it will be Verdugo, Turner, and Devers to the plate for Boston. Connor Wong is not leading off. It'll be Verdugo. Verdugo, a left-hander, against Schmidt, a right-hander. He's a 1-11 for control, so this comes off of the pitcher card. And that's going to be a ground ball that goes to third base. No problem at third base. It will be DJ LeMahieu with a good throw to first. Gets Verdugo for the first out. Brings up Justin Turner, veteran right-handed bat. That's a 9. Turner is going to be a 1-7 for control, so this comes off the pitcher card. 341 against a righty is a fly ball. That is popped up to first base, and no problem at first, as Anthony Rizzo squeezes that one for the out. P3 on the put out, and that brings up Rafael Devers with 2 outs and nobody on. Devers, a very dangerous left-handed bat. He's going to have this come off the pitcher card. 457 against a lefty is going to be a line drive. That goes to center field. A 155 is a good catch, as the center fielder, Kiner Falefa, comes in and makes the play on that line drive. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Clark Schmidt, and we're going to leave his stamina there for that 1-2-3 inning. And we head to the top of the second inning, no score. It will be DJ LeMahieu, Kiner Falefa, and Bill McKinney for the Yanks. He's a 1-5 for control, so this comes off the batter card. 819 is a base hit. And that will be a line drive down the right field line. Picked up by the right fielder. There is no error on the play. He runs at a -4. The right fielder is Verdugo. He is a +9. So not going to try any funny business there. And it'll be Isaiah Kiner Falefa coming to the plate. I believe he is now on another team. Is he a Blue Jay? Maybe he's a Blue Jay, a Padre, something. Did he go to the Padres? I can't remember. He plays for a different team now. He's not with the Yankees. And he will be facing Pivetta for the first time. He's a 1-4 for control, so it's off Pivetta's card. 988, though, is going to be a hit off of Pivetta's card. And that'll be a base hit. And that will be a ground ball down the left field line, so past the third baseman. And that's not an error on the play. So grounder down the left field line. I'm pretty sure this guy is not going to advance. New York is normal, going first to third. He does hold. He does not advance to third, so that's going to be 2 on with nobody out, and Billy McKinney to the plate. McKinney had a decent day in game number 1, and he'll be facing off against Pivetta in this one. This off Pivetta's card. 932 is going to be another hit off the pitcher card, and 840 against a righty is going to be a big fly opportunity. It's a 15, and that ball is hit down the line. Will it stay fair? It clangs off the fair pole in right field, and that is going to be a 3-run jack for Billy McKinney, who hits it to the very short field, hits it off the pesky pole, and that's going to be a little cheapo home run to right field. But it counts for 3 just the same, and New York takes a 3-0 lead on that home run from Bill McKinney. Tough start for Nick Pivetta here. He's facing off against Jose Trevino. Nobody out, 3 runs already in, and this is off the pitcher, 143. That's going to be a ground ball to third base. Chance for an error. It's a 0-60. The third baseman is Devers. He's a -2. And it will not be an error on the play as he wings it over to first base, and that will be out number 1. So 1 down in the top of the 2nd inning. 3-0 is our score. New York has jumped out on a Billy McKinney 3-run homer. 771 off of Pivetta's card is going to be a strikeout. His first K of the day. Let's see if that loosens things up for Pivetta. It's like he got punched in the nose and he needed to wake up a little bit. Brings Jake Bauers to the plate. Bauers flied out in his first at bat. Let's come off Bauers' card. 143 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That goes to 374. That's a fly ball to left field. And 880 will be a catch. So a couple of flyouts to left for McKinney. He's a third out of the inning, but the Yankees do get 3 on the home run from Billy McKinney. They have a 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It'll be Adam Duvall, Yoshida, and Christian Arroyo for the Red Sox, facing off against Clark Schmidt. Duvall against a righty is a 0. Schmidt's a -5, so 1-5 for control for Duvall. He's got it. And a 177 against a righty is going to be a fly ball as he lifts this one to left field, and no problem out there in left field for Jake Bauers as he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 down in the inning. It'll be Masataka Yoshida. He is the DH in this one, and this will come off of Schmidt's card. And 841 against a lefty will be a hit off of the pitcher card. For Yoshida, it's going to be a single. And that will be a line drive down the right field line. No error on the play, the right fielder. So a single for Yoshida. The right fielder is a 0, so no advancement there by the runner, as Yoshida is on with a 1-out single. Brings out Christian Arroyo, second baseman. This comes off the pitcher card. 470 is a line drive, and that liner goes to center field. No problem in center field for Kiner Falefa. He's going to make the catch. Let's see if there's any advancement on that play. So we have a line drive to center field with a runner at first base. It's mostly going to be my choice, 735. So that's a red in the red. So no advancement by the runner. We have 2 down and a runner at first base for Jaron Duran. Duran's been tearing it up this year. Played decently, especially against right-handers. 296 average, 773 OPS against righties last season. He is facing a right-hander, and you can see he's a better hitter against right-handed pitching, but Schmidt is pretty good against lefties. So he's a 1-9 for control. This comes off the pitcher card. 843 is not going to matter as he gives up a hit. Schmidt does. A 9-11, that's going to be super trouble. 9-11 against a right-handed pitcher is going to be a 3-bagger. So let's see about that triple. An 18 on a triple. The left fielder is back on it. He collides with the wall. He can't get the ball. It bounces away. Duran is going to wind up at third base. And that's going to be an RBI triple for Duran as the ball gets away from the left fielder, Jake Bowers, who can't make the catch at the wall. And that is the first run of the game for the Bo Sox. They cut the lead to 3-1. And Duran is at third base with 2 outs. Brings up Enrique Hernandez. Hernandez is a 1-4 for control. He's got control of the at-bat at 392. Doesn't really matter. That's a fly ball. That will be a pop-up to the catcher. Catcher is there to make the play in fair territory. And that's going to be out number 3. But the Bo Sox do get 1 on the Duran triple. And that's going to be a 3-1 lead for the Yankees as they head to the top of the 3rd inning. For the Yanks, it'll be Stanton, Torres, and Rizzo, heart of the order for New York. This comes off Pavetta's card. A 196 is a fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to right field. And no problem. In right field for Verdugo, good outfielder. He makes the catch for out number 1. Pavetta now facing Gleyber Torres. Torres hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. He will have a 386. That's going to be a line drive to second base. The second baseman is Christian Arroyo. He makes a nice catch on that line drive as he had to move to his left. And that's going to be out number 2. So 2 quick ones here in the 3rd for Nick Pivetta. See if he can get out with a 1-2-3 inning. He's facing off against Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo 1-4 for control. So this is a 593 against a lefty, will be a strikeout. So not only does he get the 1-2-3 inning and stay there, but he gets a strikeout. That actually bumps him up a little bit. So the Yankees go scoreless, and that might have earned Nick Pivetta 1 more inning. Which is why I wanted to get him the start in the game. I feel like, you know, he's a good enough pitcher. Look at he's -6 on everything. He can probably squeeze out 4 or 5 innings, and maybe he'll get through 4. So the Yankees go down in the 3rd. They're up 3-1, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Connor Wong, and then back to the top of the order with Verdugo and Turner. This off the pitcher card, a 713 against a right-hander. Is a strikeout. So Clark Schmidt with the K. Well, his name is with the C, but he has the K. Alex Verdugo to the plate. He grounded out to 3rd in his first at-bat. He's got a +1 advantage, so a 984 as Verdugo gets a hold of one. Let's see what happens here. That one is down the middle. Verdugo off the light standard as he goes opposite field, and he cranks one off the light standard in left field. And that's going to be a solo bomb for Alex Verdugo. He gets a ball to his liking, and he deposits it over the monster in right field. And we have a 3-2 ball game as Boston tries to creep into this one. It's Justin Turner. He popped out to first base in his first at-bat. He's got a 1-7 opportunity control, so this comes off the pitcher. 215 is going to be a grounder. That goes to the shortstop. And the shortstop will make the play. Nice throw by Anthony Volpe. And that is out number 2. So 2 down in the 3rd inning. Our score is 3-2, New York over Boston. And Rafi Devers, the dangerous Rafi Devers, to the plate. A 3 is going to be control for the batter. 499 against a righty is a strikeout. So Boston gets 1 back, but the strikeout ends the inning. We go to the top of the 4th inning. 3-2 is our score. Boston down a run. LeMahieu, Kiner-Falefa, and McKinney to the plate. McKinney with the 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning. LeMahieu against righties is a +1. That makes him a 1-5 for control, so this comes off the pitcher card. 925, though, is not going to matter as Pivetta gives up a hit. A 718 against a righty will be a double. So that will be a ground ball past the shortstop. This one's going to get between the fielders and go all the way into left center field. It's picked up by the center fielder. And no error on the play. So LeMahieu with a single and a double now, as he rips one into the gap. It rolls all the way to the wall, and he is standing up at second base. Brings up Kiner-Falefa. Kiner-Falefa gets control of this at bat. It's a 364 against a righty. Is going to be a fly ball, and a 112 or 121. Sorry, is going to be a fly ball. That's a pop up to second base, and no problem at second base, and no advance for the runner. So we go P4 on the putout, and that's going to bring up Billy McKinney. McKinney roped one down the right field line, hit it off the pesky pole in right field, and gave the Yanks a 3-0 lead at the time. Here's a 14. This comes off Pivetta. 307 will be a fly ball. Fly ball is another pop-up, this time to shortstop. The shortstop is Enrique Hernandez. He's going to make the catch with a couple of feet just on the outfield grass in left center. And that will be 2 outs in the inning. The Yankees have a runner in scoring position, but they haven't been able to move him over. It's Jose Trevino to the plate, the catcher. This comes off of his card. So a 626 for the catcher against a righty is going to be a strikeout. Pretty narrow strikeout range as it goes, only 16% K percentage. But Pivetta gets him, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. The Yankees get a leadoff double, but they strand him in scoring position, and Pivetta, through 4 innings, has kept the Yankees to 3 runs. The 3-run homer to Billy McKinney, the only damage. For Boston, it's going to be Duvall, Yoshida, and Arroyo to the plate against Clark Schmidt. Duvall against righties is just a 0, so this is off of Schmidt's card. 557 against a right-hander is going to be a strikeout, as Schmidt gets Adam Duvall with the breaking ball. That's out number 1. Brings up Yoshida to the plate. Yoshida, left-handed batter. He's going to have a 1-11 for control. So this comes off his card. 809 against a righty is going to be a base hit for Yoshida. And that'll be a line drive into right center field. It's picked up by the right fielder. And there's no error on the play. So a single to right field. He's now 2 for 2. The right fielder is McKinney. He's a 0, so probably not going to run on him. And that brings up Christian Arroyo. Arroyo with a line out in his last at-bat. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's try something. Let's try a little hit and run. Let's try to get something started. And we don't ever use these plays. So I'm going to call a hit and run. I'm going to use the hit and run chart here. Hopefully you can see that. And all we do is we don't do the batter pitcher matchup. We just roll straight off this chart. So we have our 3D10. And it's a 135. 135 is going to be a 5-3 putout. And the runner advances. So somewhat successful. At least it stays out of the double play. It'll be 2 outs though. But we're going to go 5-3 fielder's choice. And this runner will advance on the fielder's choice. So we have runner at second base now with 2 down and Jarren Duran to the plate. Duran with an RBI triple in his first at bat. He's a +1 against righties. Schmidt's a -5, so he's a -4. 1-6 for control, so it's off the pitcher card. 970 though, that's going to be another hit off of the pitcher card, and it's Jarren Duran with the double. So it will be a double, a little blooper down the right field line. Duran's going to wind up at second base. And that's going to score the run from second. And just like that, we have a tie ball game. As Yoshida comes in, and Duran is now 2 for 2. He's got a triple and a double. Brings up Enrique Hernandez. Enrique Hernandez is a -1 against righties. So he's just a 1-4, but he does get control of the at-bat. 257 is going to be a fly ball against a righty. That fly ball goes to the shortstop. Possible error though, 0-14. The shortstop is Volpe. He's a -1. And a 14 is not in his error range, and so he's going to make the catch on a little flare into left field, and that'll be out number 3. But Boston ties it up with another Duran RBI, and we head to the top of the 5th inning. We are tied at 3. I'm going to leave Pivetta out there, see how he can do. He's at the bottom of the order. We'll just take it batter by batter and see if he can hold the lead. Right now, he can stay in there. Well, he still has a chance to control the at-bat. In fact, he does control the at-bat here. A 443 against Anthony Volpe is going to be a line drive. And that liner goes to right field. And the right fielder is there. Verdugo makes the catch. And that will be out number 1. Brings up Jake Bauers to the plate. Bauers is 0 for 2. He's flied out to left a couple times. This comes off the pitcher card. A 322 against a lefty is going to be another line drive. And this one is a liner to left field. And wouldn't you know it, he's made his 3rd out to left field. As the left fielder Duran makes the catch. Moving to his right, on the run, makes a nice catch against Bauers, and that's out number 2. So Nick Pivetta, we're going to do a mound visit just to give him that +1. So Giancarlo Stanton is out there. It won't matter as Stanton gets the control of the at-bat. A 734 for Stanton versus righties is the very last number in his K range. Maybe that was a foul tip into the mitt. That's what we'll call it. So that's a 1-2-3 inning, and Pivetta gets through 5 innings, and that was exactly what I was hoping for. It's 3-3 our score, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Connor Wong, then back to the top of the order with Verdugo and Turner. Connor Wong against righties is a -1. So in total, he is a 1-4 to control. So this comes off the pitcher card. 466 against a right-hander is a line drive. That liner goes into right field. Possible error here. The right fielder is McKinney. He's a 0. He's an error on a 22-32. This is a 0-47, so no error on the play, as McKinney makes a nice catch in right field for out number 1. Connor Wong now 0 for 2. Verdugo stands in. He's a left-hander. He is 1 for 2. He had a solo homer in his last at bat. This time he's going to get control. A 725 against a righty is going to be a walk. And so he's on base for the second time in this game. Verdugo with just 0 speed. Trevino is a +2. And Clark is a +1. So it would be a -3 for Verdugo to steal. And that's just into the lowest column. He would move 2 columns down because of that. So we're going to stay at first base. Brings up Justin Turner. Turner is 0 for 2. And this will come off the pitcher card. 774 is going to be a walk. So back-to-back walks after getting the first out. And Clark Schmidt trying to get through this 5th inning, but he's in a little bit of hot water here with 2 on and 1 out. And the one person at bat is Rafi Devers. He is a 1-8 for control. He gets control here, and a 900 is big trouble for Clark Schmidt. A 900 is going to be a double for Rafi Devers as he hits a ground ball down the left field line into the corner. 555. I don't think that's anything. I suppose it's a possible throwing error. Let me see. I don't think we have anything really set up for that. Fielder. We know which fielder it is. Is there an error? Yeah, we don't really have anything there. So that's just going to be an double down the left field line. And that's going to score this run from second. And then this runner here is going to go to third. So Verdugo in to score. That's going to give the Red Sox the lead. I'm going to go into second base here. Justin Turner is a -3. The Red Sox going first to home are a normal. And he's a -3. So first to third down the left field line, that's a hold. So Justin Turner, they're going to hold him up at third base. That is a 1-out double for Rafi Devers, and he puts Boston in the lead, 4-3. And Schmidt is not out of hot water yet. So this is a 9. This is going to Adam Duvall. 9 is off of Schmidt's card. 876 is going to be a base hit. That's a ground ball through the left side. Picked up by the left fielder. No error on the play. And so it's a ground ball to left. That will score the runner from third. And Devers runs at a -2. They're cautious when they go second to home. He's a -2. Cautious. That's going to be a, it's a hold when it goes to left field. So the train keeps moving, and that's going to be the end of the line for Clark Schmidt as the Yankees are going to have to get a new pitcher. They're down 5-3. And there is just 1 out with 2 on in the 5th. All right, the new pitcher for the Yankees is going to be Michael King. King has a stamina of 9. He's a -6 against righties, -4 against lefties. So it seems like a perfect situation for him. First and third with 1 out. He replaces Clark Schmidt, who goes 4 1/3. He was cruising along until this inning, and he gave up 7 hits. So far, he's given up 5 runs, and all of them are earned. But he's on the hook for these 2 runs, so for the 2 runners. So first and third with 1 out, and Yoshida to the plate. Yoshida 2 for 2, a couple of singles, and a couple of runs scored. This is a 9 to Yoshida. He's a 1-7 for control. So that'll be a 141 off of King's card. That's a ground ball. You know what? That is a against righties he's a +3. Against lefties he's a -4. So that's let's do this at bat over. So that's actually going to be that's off Yoshida's card. 168, kind of the same result though. Against a righty, that's going to be a ground ball. 731 is a grounder to third base. That is a good catch by the third baseman. Let's see what happens on the play. Let's see if King can get the Yankees out of this inning with no more runs scored. So it's a grounder to third base. We have runners at the corner, so we're looking at this here. There are less than 2 outs. There's only 1 out. And a 124 is going to be a 5-4 double play chance. And we're looking at the double play number of the third baseman. Third baseman is DJ LeMahieu. He's got a double play number of 1. And let's see if they roll up too. He's here in this column, so anything 361 to 710 is a double play. It's a 928, and that is not going to be good enough as they go 5-4. The runner's going to score from third on the fielder's choice. He's going to be out, and that's out number 2. And safe at first base is Yoshida with another RBI, or at least his first RBI, I guess, of the game. So King almost gets it. They can't double up Yoshida, and Boston is still alive here with a runner at first base and 2 outs. It's Christian Arroyo to the plate. Arroyo 1-4 to control. So this is a 562 off King's card. That's going to be a strikeout as he ends the inning with a K. So Boston does get, let's see, they score 3. They score 3 in the inning. They now lead 6-3 as this game has been turned on its head. 6 runs are all Schmidt's responsibility. And that takes us to the top of the 6th inning. Nick Pivetta is still in the game. Do we keep him in the game? That's the question. With a 6-3 lead now, tables have turned. He's on the hook for the win, so let's just keep him in there. This goes to Gleyber Torres. A 740 against a righty is going to be a walk. So that takes Pivetta all the way down to a 0. Let's see if he can get himself out. If not, then we'll bring in a reliever. We got people waiting in the wings. This comes off of Rizzo's card, in 876 against a right-hander is going to be a single. For Rizzo, that's a line drive down the left field line. And Torres is a -2. They go 1 to third as a normal. So first to third, he's a 2. Down the left field line, it is my choice what to do. The left fielder is Duran. Duran is a -4. Believe it or not, that's going to be on him. So Duran doesn't get there very quickly. His arm is a -1, and so we're going to push our luck and send Torres to third. He's over here, 31 to 100, and he'll get Torres at third. He's going to slide in safely as he challenges Jarren Duran, and he wins the challenge. He's going to go first to third on the single, and Anthony Rizzo. New York is a trail of normal. Rizzo runs at a -1. So on the trail runner, -1 to third base, the throw to third base, so he's going to hold. So no advancement there by Anthony Rizzo. So with runners at first and third, let's go ahead and get Pivetta out of the game. All right, so the new pitcher is going to be Chris Murphy. He's a left-hander. And he's replacing Pivetta. Pivetta goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits. He is responsible for these 2 runners on base at first and third. There's still nobody out in the 6th. He did have 4 strikeouts and 1 walk. He's given up 3 runs so far on the Billy McKinney 3-run home run. That's really been the only blemish for Pivetta, who has pitched well in this one. It will be DJ LeMahieu to the plate against Chris Murphy. My name is Murphy. Murphy, we'll see if he can limit the damage. It's 6-3 Boston. Boston trying to hang on and not blow up this inning. So LeMahieu is a 0 against lefties, and Murphy is a -1. So 1-9 for the pitcher. A 143 against a right-hander is going to be a grounder, and it's a 187. That ground ball goes to second base. Possible error on the second baseman. Second baseman is Arroyo. He's a +2. So it's only an error on him. Excuse me, a 1-13, so no error on the plate. As Arroyo makes the play. Excellent fielder. And we have runners at first and third. It's a ground ball to second base. So we're looking in this column here. A 131 is going to be this. That is a 4-6 double play chance. We're looking at the double play number for Christian Arroyo. With nobody out, even if there's a double play, the run's going to score, but they're trying to make sure that they get 2. So we will get 1. And double play number for Arroyo is a +1. So we roll against that number off of this chart. It's going to be in this column here. 361 to 710 is a double play. It is a 178, and they are not able to turn 2. And so that run's going to score just a fielder's choice, 5-4, or 4-6 fielder's choice. Sorry about that. And coming home to score is going to be Torres. And safe at first is DJ LeMahieu. So LeMahieu grounds to second base softly. They are not able to turn 2. The run scores. It's now 6-4. And there is a runner at first base with 2 down. Oh, sorry, it's 1 out. Only 1 out in the inning. Kiner Falefa to the plate. He's a 0 against lefties. So 1-9 is control for the pitcher. A 166 is going to be another ground ball. That ground ball goes to third base. The third baseman, no problem picking it up. Who's playing third? Devers. Devers is he's actually a decent enough double play guy. Let's see what happens on the play, though. Third base, runner at first. Most of these are going to be double play chances, but let's see. A22. That will be a 5-4 double play chance. So an opportunity to go around the horn. And this guy is going to be out on the fielder's choice. So he's out number 2. And let's see if we can turn it. What did I say? I said Devers is a 0. So not a huge chance here. 541 to 710. He turns 2. It's a 456, and that will not be good enough for the double play, as they are only to get 1 good slide at second base. Takes out the second baseman, and we'll go 5-4 on the put out. 2 outs in the inning, though. I think I moved that guy. And what's this one? Kiner Falefa will come up with 2 outs and a runner at first base. 1 already in for the Yankees. 6-4 is our score. This goes off of Murphy's card. Murphy against a lefty is going to be 881. This is a 956, so that's a hit. Billy Murphy already with 1 home run. 497. We'll just go off of his right-handed pitching here. That's going to be a base hit. So 497 is a base hit. A blooper down the left field line. Picked up by the left fielder. And no error on the play. Kiner Falefa is a -1. The Yankees are normal going first to third. So he's going to hold. We'll have runners at first and second base with 2 outs. And it's Jose Trevino. As Billy McKinney just dumps one down the left field line. He's now 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Jose Trevino with control of this at bat. It's a 796 for Trevino against lefties. Is going to be a base hit as the Yankees just keep coming. This is a line drive to center field and no error on the center fielder. And let's see what happens with the base runners. So everybody moves up 1. The Yankees are a normal going second to home. Kiner Falefa is a -1. So normal, he's a -1. Center field is up to us. Let's go ahead and press our luck. Adam Duvall is just a -5. And Kiner Falefa is a -1. So this is going to be all on Adam Duvall to try to throw out the runner at home. A -1 arm. It's not so good. Or he's a +1 arm, I'm sorry. So 351 is here, and a +1 arm. He gets the runner at home, and that is a nice play. As this runner here gets gunned down 8-2, and that's our 3rd out of the inning. So we get a single with runners at first and second, but he's going to get gunned down at the plate. Nice throw by Adam Duvall, coming up strong. We get 1 back for the Yankees, and they are not able to score again. As Kiner Falefa gets thrown out on the base hit to center field, trying to score from second. Okay. Michael King, let's keep him in the game. It's now 6-4. Yeah. 6-4. It'll be Duran, Hernandez, and Wong to the plate for Boston. Okay. King is a righty. That makes him a 1-7. Duran is a 1-7 to get control. He gets control. 867. This is going to be another hit for Duran as he adds a single. And this is going to be a little blooper down the left field line. Picked up by the left fielder. Duran is going to be in there with a single. He runs at a +1. The left fielder is Bowers. He's a -4. And Duran is going to push his luck here. Try to get to second base. They have a 2-run lead, trying to get himself into scoring position here. So Bowers is a 0. He is going to be a 101 to 210 to throw him out at second base. It's a 124, and he guns them down. Look at these outfield arms in this one, throwing people out all over the place. As Jake Bowers comes up firing, and he gets Jarren Duran trying to score, or trying to get to second. So that's going to be a single with a 7-4, we'll say. As he gets his man, Jake Bowers does, from left field. Just an average arm, but a good throw there gets Jarren Duran at second base. Enrique Hernandez now to the plate. Hernandez is just a 1-3 to control. 842 though will be a hit. And an 884 against a righty is a double. That is a fly ball to right center field, deep into right field. And that's going to land and go up against the wall. In right field, it's a 096. So our right fielder is who? Billy McKinney. He's a 0. He does not make the error, so he's going to pick up the ball and get it back in to second base. And that will be a 1-out double for Enrique Hernandez, who shoots the gap into right center field. One hops the wall, and Boston's in business. 1 out with a man in scoring position. Connor Wong, this comes off the pitcher card. 640 against a righty is a strikeout. So Michael King with his second K gets Connor Wong. That's out number 2. And we head to the top of the order. Alex Verdugo to the plate. Verdugo 1 for 2. He had a solo bomb back in the 3rd. He walked and scored in his last at bat. And here he's facing off against Michael King. He's a +3 against righties. So he's a good start against right-handed pitching. And against lefties, King is a -4. So 1-9 for control for Verdugo. This comes off his card. 959 off of a lefty is going to be a double. And so offense abounds here, as this is a line drive down the right field line. Verdugo, it rolls down into the corner. He is going to roll into second base with a double. And that's an RBI double as he drives in Enrique Hernandez from second base. The score is now 7-4. Boston over New York. Boston trying to even up this series. This is actually a doubleheader played on June 18th. The first game of a doubleheader. And so Justin Turner to the plate. Turner is 0 for 2. Walked and scored in his last at bat. He came in on an RBI single from Duvall. And King against Turner has a -4 advantage, so a 1-6 for Turner to control. So this comes off King's card. 657 against a righty is a strikeout. So King gets the strikeout to end the inning, but he does give up another run. And that's going to make the score 7-4 as Boston gets that run back. And we head to the top of the 7th inning. We'll keep King right there. And we head to the top of the 7th. New York is trailing and looking to come back in this one. It'll be Volpe, Bowers, and Stanton. Chris Murphy doing a fine job. Let's see if he can keep it up. This comes off Volpe's card. 566 against the lefty is going to be a strikeout as he goes down on the fastball. Can't catch up to it, and that is out number 1. Nice job by Chris Murphy. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Jake Bowers. Bowers playing in left field. He's hit it to left field 3 times and been unsuccessful. Maybe you should try a different part of the park. This will be a 249. 249 against the lefty is another fly ball. 727. And at least he hits it somewhere else. This goes out to center field, but the same result. It's going to be a fly ball out. And that will be Adam Duvall making the catch in center field. That's a quick couple of outs for Chris Murphy here in the 7th. Murphy in relief of Nick Pivetta. Pivetta went 5 innings. He gave up... How many runs did he give up? He gave up all 4 runs, right? So we should close him out. And it'll be Giancarlo Stanton to the plate. Stanton is 0 for 3 for flyouts. He struck out in his last at-bat. He is a 1-8 for controls. This is not going to be for him. Actually, it is. Against lefties, he's a 0. He's a 1-9 for control. So that 9 comes off of Giancarlo Stanton. 506 against the lefty, though, is going to be a strikeout. So bookend strikeouts for Chris Murphy. And that will end the 7th inning. Murphy doing a fine job for the Boston bullpen. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 7-4, Boston over New York. Rafi Devers to the plate. Then it'll be Duvall and Yoshida. Let's see if Michael King can get through one more inning and save this bullpen, especially on a doubleheader day. 16 will be control to the pitcher. A 251 against lefties is a fly ball. This one goes to center field. No problem in center field for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as he reaches up into the sun, makes the catch, and it will be out number 1. Adam Duvall to the plate. Duvall with an RBI single his last at bat. He's 1 for 3. This comes off of Duvall's card. 193 will be a fly ball. That is a pop-up to the shortstop. And the shortstop is Volpe. No problem there as he's got his feet firmly planted on the infield. Barely had to move. And that's going to be out number 2. One more out to go in the 7th. It'll be Yoshida. He is the last hope for Boston here. He's 2 for 3. He does have 2 singles and an RBI. This is a 5. He's a 1-7 for control, so this comes off his card. 8-13 for Yoshida against a righty is a base hit, so another single. And this one is going to be a ground ball down the left field line. Getting to it is the left fielder. Yoshida runs at a -3, so I don't think he's going anywhere. The left fielder is Bowers. He's a -4. He gunned down a guy in his last... he gunned down Jarren Duran trying to go to second, so I think he has put the sign out, everybody should just stop. Although probably the odds are against him trying to do anything. They're not particularly aggressive, Boston. Going to first to third, they're a little above average, but they're not super aggressive on the base paths. Christian Arroyo is a 0 against righties. That makes him a 1-4 for control, so it's off the pitcher card. 574 is going to be a strikeout as King finishes his day with a strikeout. Boston doesn't score. They get a runner to first base. And we're going to head to the top of the 8th inning. It is 7-4 Boston trying to even up the series. They will face off against the middle of the order. We're going to leave Chris Murphy in there because he's just rolling. And hopefully he doesn't get into too much trouble. Torres against lefties is a +2. Murphy against righties is a -1. So 1-11 goes to Gleyber Torres. A 121 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball. That grounder goes to second base, and it's a possible error on the second baseman. Arroyo is a +2. And it's a 1-13 is an error. We have a 60. So no error on the play as Christian Arroyo gets it over to the first baseman. That is Justin Turner who squeezes it for the outs. So 1 down in the 8th inning. It'll be Anthony Rizzo to the plate. He actually hits lefties pretty well. He has a 744 OPS against left-handers. Doesn't strike out nearly as much and walks more. So good pitcher against lefties. He will be a 1-11. So 477 though is going to be a strikeout. So one of those few times when he does strike out against lefties. And that'll be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th for the Yankees. The Yankees looking to get some kind of offense going here. They're down 7-4. And this will be DJ LeMahieu to the plate. A 516 against a righty will be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Chris Murphy. Murphy with 4 strikeouts in his 3 innings. And that's going to be it for the Yankees as Murphy sits down the Yanks in the 8th. And that'll finish his day. I think we're going to bring in whoever their closer is. I think it was Kenley Jansen. We'll bring in Jansen to close things out. We're going to get a new pitcher for the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th inning. Michael King, an admirable job for the Yankees, gave up 1 run in 3 innings, or 2 1/3. And so let's close him out and get a new pitcher for New York. All right, the new pitcher for New York is going to be Tommy Conley, I think is how you say his name. He'll replace Michael King. King, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, only 1 run allowed. He did have 4 strikeouts and no walks, so excellent relief performance as he came in for Clark Schmidt, who had given up 6 runs. So King stopped the bleeding for the Yankees, and let's see if Conley can get them to the 9th inning without having given up any runs. They're trying to get one more at bat with as little gap as they can possibly get. Conley will be facing off against Duran, Hernandez, and Wong. Duran, quite a day. He is 3 for 3. He's a home run short of the cycle. Let's see if he gets that here. He's a +1 against righties, and Conley is a -1 against lefties, so they're even Steven. This is off the batter card, 827. Not a home run, but another hit, as Duran is going to go 4 for 4. This is a line drive off the wall in left field. And he hits that one so hard, and it's played so well by the left fielder that is going to be a single. So no chance to advance there for Duran. Duran, one of the only stolen base threats. He is a +1, but Trevino is a +2, which makes Duran a -1, and that's just not good enough odds for me. It's 7-4, sorry. And Boston looking to tack on. Enrique Hernandez is 1 for 3. He had a double and scored in his last at bat. He's going to be a 1-8 for control. It is an 8, and that is a 365. That'll be a fly ball. That goes out to left field, and the left fielder will make the play. That's 1 out. Let's see if there's any runner advancement on that fly ball to left. It's a possibility for the runner to move up or have to move up. A 409 is here, and that is no movement by the runner at first base. And so we have 1 down and a runner at first base. It'll be Connor Wong to the plate. Wong is over 3. He's got a couple of strikeouts. Facing off against Conley. This will be off Conley's card. 589 against a righty will be a strikeout. So Conley actually 33% K percentage against right-handers. So an excellent strikeout percentage against righties, and that'll bring up Alex Verdugo. He's going to need all of that against Verdugo. Verdugo is 2 for 3. He's got a solo home run. He's got an RBI double and a walk and a run scored. 2 runs scored on the day. This comes off Tommy Conley's card, and a 142 to a lefty will be a ground ball. That grounder goes to shortstop. Possible error on the shortstop, 054. The shortstop is Anthony Volpe. His error is a -1. That's an error on a 33 to 83. So that's going to be an E6 on Volpe. Could have been out of the inning, but big error there on the young shortstop. And that'll bring up Justin Turner to the plate. Let's see if that error hurts the Yankees. An 11, that's going to go to Justin Turner. 179 is a fly ball. That's a fly ball out to left field, and no problem in left for Jake Bowers, who makes the catch. Bowers having a good day in left field. And that's going to end the inning, so the error doesn't come back to bite the Yankees. Boston does not score in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Boston up 7-4, and it is Kenley Jansen time. All right, Kenley Jansen into the game. Jansen, a former Brave, I can tell you. Buckle up. Could be a wild ride. He is on his way to the Hall of Fame, I think, as he is climbing up the saves list. But never easy with Kenley Jansen on the mound, not the last few years. So we've got Connor Falefa, McKinney, which we might need to get a pinch hitter in there for him. and Trevino for the Yankees against Kenley Jansen. He replaces Chris Murphy. Murphy, 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. Only faced 10 batters in 3 innings. And to me, he might be the player of the game. That was a 6. So Kiner Falefa against Jansen is going to be a 1-9 for control. So 627 for Kenley. And that is going to be a strikeout as he gets him on the cutter. And Kiner Falefa can do nothing about it. That's out number 1 in the 9th. Boston tried to preserve this 7-4 lead and win one against the Yankees. You know, the Yankees really don't have a lot of anything against right-handed pitching. They have no righties who can do really anything. We're going to leave Bill Kinney in there because he's not any worse than anybody else, to be honest with you. And he is 2 for 3. He's got a home run and a single. He's facing off against Kenley Jansen, the righty. So he's a 1-7 for control. Jansen will control the at-bat. 624. That's going to be a second straight strikeout as Kenley Jansen gets him on the slide piece. Down and in. McKinney can't connect. And that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Jose Trevino. Trevino, last hope here. He is also, well, he's a 1-8 for control and a 643. And Kenley Jansen comes in and blows away the Yankees in the 9th with a 1-2-3 9th inning, 3 strikeouts, and he is going to get the save. Let me come back with the totals in this one as Boston wins 7-4, and be right back. All right, and we are back with our totals. It's going to be Boston 7, New York 4. For New York, it's 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. For Boston, 7 runs on 12 hits and no errors. Nick Pivetta is going to get the win. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. But he was actually kind of technically in the ball game in the bottom of the 5th. He made it through the 5th. So whenever Boston took the lead in the bottom of the 5th, he was still technically in the game. New pitcher came in the 6th. So excellent work by him. And I guess Murphy technically gets a hold. Murphy comes in. To me, he was the star of the game. 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. He only faced 10 batters in 3 innings. And Murphy just came in and mowed the Yankees through the bottom of the order, like one time through the order. And really preserved the Boston lead. They did give up 1 in the 6th. That one was that one was charged because Pivetta came out for the 6th. So he didn't get any outs, and that 1 run was charged to Nick Pivetta. So that's how that happened there. Kenley Jansen, looking 15 years younger, comes out and mows down the Yankee lineup with 3 straight strikeouts and a 3-up, 3-down 9th to save the game. The loss goes to Clark Schmidt, 4 1/3, gives up 7 hits and 6 runs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Big blows here were a triple from Jarren Duran. Duran was 4 for 4, a triple, a double, and 2 singles. He did have 2 RBIs as well. He did get cut down. He was trying to advance to second base and got cut down by Jake Bowers, who threw a seed to second base. RBI doubles from Rafael Devers, RBI single from Adam Duvall, and a RBI ground out from Yoshida. That was that 3-run 5th inning, and that sunk the Yankees in this one. This is game 1 of a doubleheader that was played on June 18th, so I'll have to come back with game 2 next. This series is tied at 1. This is playing precision baseball, and the new version of the files, so all of these new versions of the files are out there on the Facebook group. You can also email me if you are not on Facebook or don't want to join the Facebook group. The email is clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, and the Facebook group, go to Facebook and look in the groups. Just search for Clark and Addison Gaming Company. You'll find the group, answer a few questions. It's a private group, so you'll have to answer a few questions to get in. Make sure that you answer the questions and agree to the rules, the group rules. I'm not going to let you in if you don't, but if you do, happy to let you in. Just tell me a little bit about yourself in the questions. Check yes to the game rules, the group rules, sorry. And then when you get into the group, you can go to the files section. You can download the latest test version. I think it's called test 0.4. And so those are the testing files for Precision Baseball. Lots of new stuff in there. So this is the runner advancement is all new. The ballparks, which I didn't show in this video, but the ballparks are here. This is Fenway Park. You can rob home runs. You know, you can see the wall where you can rob home runs. It has to be 10 feet or less for you to be able to rob a home run. We have all of the ground ball charts, including the new infield in chart. These have always been with the game. There's just runner advancement on fly balls and line drives, possibilities for double plays. All of the normal charts, kind of the charts that you're going to reference all the time, are really just these four, unless you're stealing third or stealing home, which doesn't happen very much. But you're referencing here for the ground balls and the errors. That's every single play. And then here, if you're stealing second, and then any of the grounded into double plays. We don't do too many range plays or robbing home runs, but it does come into play in the game. And then you use the outfield arm chart quite a bit, or the base running chart. We also have our highlight plays, which are over here. We have a little bit of a game sequence kind of play page just to kind of help you at the beginning to think about the game sequences, what to do on each one. We have some offensive strategy plays, which we use the hit and run in this one. But don't do that very often, but sometimes. And then we have our manager tendencies. This is an old one. We have manager tendencies for every manager, including Kapler was fired, so they brought in a new manager for the Giants. So they had two. So all of those are included here. If you want to try to figure out how to play the team like the manager played the team, that's on this sheet. And then also we have the taking extra bases. Is the team aggressive, normal, or cautious when going first to third, first to home, second to home, and with trail runners? And that's important because that matches up. If you're going to do that, that matches up with this sheet of paper here, where first to third, you're going to look at the appropriate aggressiveness of the team. Are they aggressive, normal, or cautious? And then you'll use that chart when going first to third. Same thing with the trail runner down here. There's also a sort of a generic hit direction and run advancement chart. This doesn't use the ballpark chart for these things. You basically find the hit direction. It's kind of a simple little basic 1 to 10 roll. So if you don't want all of these to deal with all of these results here, it just gives more specificity if you use this chart. But this one does the exact same thing. For a long time, this is the only chart that I had. So you get your hit direction and type for each base hit. And then down here you have runner advancement, first to third, second to home. Just kind of basic sort of stuff that you can use for that if you want to. And then there are highlight plays. And we don't get into highlight plays. Sorry about that. We don't get into highlight plays too much in the game. They come in whenever you have the first. So when you roll your very first roll, and this is to decide whether it's the hitter or the pitcher that has the control of the at-bat. And then it's that first 3D10 roll. So let's say it was a 444. There used to be a 4 on here. There it is. So if you get a 444, let's say that's off of Kenley Jansen's card. A 444 is in the strikeouts, and that triggers That triggers a highlight play, a 3 of a kind. If it's ground ball, fly ball, line drive, strikeout, or walk, then that's going to trigger, you can see here we have some strikeouts. And then you would roll the 3d10s and look on here. So, you know, if you rolled 160, fastball tip, but the catcher can't hold it, that's a foul ball. Breaking ball at the bottom of the zone, the batter gets a piece and stays alive, that's a foul ball. So instead of a strikeout, it becomes an extended at bat. Breaking ball in the dirt, he misses for strike 3, but the ball gets away from the catcher. If there's no runner on first and less than 2 outs, then the catcher throws to first for the out. So that's like a strikeout with a 2-3 put out. So we have lots of different plays, and you can see here these are the strikeouts, and then that bleeds down into the walks. The walks are on this last page as well. So lots of different plays that can happen in each game, and I think I've just fouled it all up here. This goes like that. Okay, so lots of different plays in the games. You can see there's ground ball, outs, and just a ton of different things that you can do in the game that give the game a little bit of color. There's some extra rolls sometimes you have to do for those, but they're like really special plays that you would see in a highlight package of a game. Some of them are rare, very rare. Some of them are somewhat rare, and some of them are relatively common, like getting a piece of a ball and it's a foul tip. There are some just like grounded hard down the third base line, foul, and then you just pick up and keep going with the at bat. So there's a chance. It's kind of that chance for something amazing. I started to work on converting this sheet to a narrative based fielding. Don't know how long that will take. If you like this sheet, that's fine. But the narrative based fielding, there's just an opportunity to provide a little bit of color commentary for different types of plays. Did he go to his left? Did he go to his right? Did he have to come in? Did he have to go back? There's different ways that you can play a 6-3 put out with the runner not advancing from second base when hit to the shortstop. So converting that sheet to a narrative based form, if I do that, then on that sheet we can trigger highlight plays from that sheet, which would give us more opportunities to trigger highlight plays. So highlight plays would be triggered on a 1 to 1,000 roll. Right now you only have, like for Kenley Jansen on a fly ball, it's only a 59 to 334. So there are only 3 chances for highlight plays, which is more than some, but there's no chances for a highlight play on a ground ball, for instance. So if we can convert that ground ball chart into a larger chart, or a fly ball chart into a larger chart, then inside of that chart, now we have 10 opportunities on a ground ball, where for most of these players, you only have 1 or 2 chances on a ground ball. So hopefully, if I can do that, one, it will create a more interesting game for your head, because you'll be able to see and kind of quote unquote hear what happens on the play. And 2, it'll give us more opportunities to trigger highlight plays. So we'll be able to trigger highlight plays either from here or from the ground ball, fly ball chart. So hopefully that will help the game, because I think that the highlight plays are very interesting, and because they're not rare plays all the time, they can be helpful in the game, because there are some like either or, if this is this, then there's rundowns and all kinds of things like that you can get into those plays. So hopefully that will help the game in some way. But always trying to make it better. This game is not complete, and if you want to play the game, again, you can email me or go join the Facebook group. But I really like it. I don't like a lot of tabletop baseball games, but I do like this one. it's kind of cool when you get a chance to just make the game that you want to play. You know, I mean, that's for most people who get into designing games, that's how you get into it. You're like, well, I like to play these games, but it's not really speaking to me. That's not really what I like, or that's kind of weird, or it could be better. And so you start tinkering around, and all of a sudden you have a game that you've created. And that's kind of how things work for most of the designers of whatever games. For me, I typically start with an idea, and then I begin to kind of flesh that idea out. This one happens to be an idea that I really like all along the way, but not that I don't like any others, but I like them for different reasons. I really wanted a game where I could think my way through. When you're dealing with the pitchers, when you're thinking about who to bring in, you have your lefty-righty splits down here. And so I have a tough right-hander coming in, or, like 2 or 3 tough right-handers in a row. I can bring in Albert Abreu. If I have a couple of lefties, tough lefties, I'm not bringing this guy in. And I can see here, he's a 26 K percentage, only 18 against lefties. He walks fewer people who are right-handed. He gets more ground balls on against right-handers. And so, I'm just going to bring in a guy, especially if I'm facing 2 out of 3 hitters that are right-handed, something like that, then I'm just going to bring him in. So you can really look and see, and maybe I bring a Peralta in against a lefty. Sorry about that. I just, these allergies are really something. Been raining a little bit and windy here in Chicago, which neither is a surprise in the spring. But boy, I don't know. Maybe it's the cicadas bringing the allergy stuff with it. I don't know. So we got Ian Hamilton, good against everybody. Nick Martinez, sort of a left-handed specialist, but he actually pitches really well against righties as well. So even though he's a 0 for his rating, he's quite good, 298 FIP against lefties. He has a higher K percentage and a little bit higher walk percentage, but gets ground balls at a higher rate against left-handers than right-handers. But 291 FIP against righties is, nothing to sneeze at. And but he's definitely sort of a lefty specialist, as he's way better against left-handers. But you can just see how the pitchers performed. And their cards are completely based off of their statistics. So whatever you see in the statistics is going to be their chances. I don't have any subjective ratings in this game. Everything you see here for all their fielding and base running, that's not me making stuff up. Those are actual sabermetric stats, which maybe some of you think those are made up. But they're actually based off of counting stats that the player happened to accumulate during the year. And so I'm not making up any of these statistics. The percentages that are here on the player card, you can add them up, and maybe there's some rounding going on, but all of these are actually based on their ground ball, fly ball, line drive percentages. And they're based off their K percentages. So Kenley Jansen, 44.4 to 71.5. What is that? 27, about 27.1. And against righties, his K percentage is 27. So it does round down to 27. So you might get some rounding in there, but whatever you see as their range, that is an actual statistic. So that's how I like things to be, because then you can get some accuracy into the game because you're not guessing at players and what they're able to do. Because of that, it's going to be a little bit difficult to make seasons that are not modern. You just don't have stats for everything. So sort of temper our expectations for 1970s baseball or 60s or 40s with this game. And it's mostly going to be modern era stuff and really StatCast era stuff. So we're talking 2002 to the present. And really some of these stats may not even be available all the way back to 2002, but hopefully they will be. So we're really looking at the batted ball / Statcast sabermetric era, which is my era. That's how, I mean, I've been paying attention to baseball through that time period. And so to me, it's no big deal, but I know to others who like to play older seasons, it just may not be in the cards, so to speak, for this game. But if you like modern baseball, if you're still watching, or if your like sweet spot is 2000 to today, then that's a lot of seasons, and it's going to be, I think, applicable. I think all those seasons will be applicable to this game. It might actually help me to not have to try to cover 125 years of baseball. That's a long time. It's a lot of seasons to try to make up. And a lot of this is done programmatically. Some of these things like this is not fully programmatic, but a little bit. But definitely the ballparks. The ballparks are... The ballparks are not programmatic, but I think once I set Fenway Park, it hasn't changed for a long time. So I don't remember when the last changes were there, but it hasn't changed for a long time. So once I set several of the parks, and then there's some older ones that I would have to incorporate as time goes on. But, most of the ballparks haven't changed so much. And so I would just create a few new ones instead of having to create all new ballparks. So hopefully that wouldn't add a lot of time to the game. Same thing with highlight plays. Those are kind of plays that happen all the time. Same with these charts. These charts are kind of, locked in time. These are all just normal plays. 5-3, ground double plays, throw home, take it to third yourself. There's a lot of this game that's just sort of that's very timeless, and it's really just the cards that are going to change. There's no need to change the stamina system. The system works whether you have a 30 stamina, or whether you have a 12 stamina or a 3 stamina. So the system just kind of works with what is supposed to happen. I did put in some defensive plays. So we have infield in, obviously infield normal. I put in a guard the lines. So that's going to go into the game guide. And maybe I'll break that out into a piece of paper that you can just have for a quick reference. But it's in the game guide. So you can guard the lines, which will convert some hits into outs. And it'll convert some outs into hits because now, your alleys are wide open. And then also outfield in, I need to add. So I'll be adding an outfield in option, which if you play the outfield in, let's say in the 9th inning, you need to make sure that runner from second doesn't score on a base hit to left field or right field. So that outfield in option is going to be a play, and that's going to be for, when it's hit right to a fielder, but it's going to increase your range and your arm. So if you have a fast runner and an average defensive player, bringing the outfield in is supposed to kind of even up that challenge, that that comparison. So hopefully that's what it does. And that could make for some exciting plays at the plate. Or it'll be enough to convince you not to send that runner from second. So, I don't know, there's a lot of nuance in baseball. I think that's one of the reasons it makes such a great tabletop game is there's a lot of nuance in it. There's a lot of decisions to make. There are not very many players on the field that touch the ball. Only one person at a time is going to touch the ball. And really only all the players are doing something on a play, but there are only 1 or 2 players that actually affect a play at any given time. To me, that's why tabletop baseball is the best, because it's just easier to work with. 11 on 11 in football is really difficult because they all affect the play, but how do you get them all involved? That becomes a real tricky situation. Same thing with basketball. They all affect the play, but how do you get 5 on 5, 10 players at a time? affecting the play, plus the coach, plus the play call, plus there's a shot. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in basketball, and it's more of a challenge because it's a more complex, not a more complex strategy, but a more complex game, just because more people are involved in the play at one time. So, that is a part of it. And I don't know, maybe soccer is really good too. Football, if you live somewhere else. And because that's really like a one-on-one type of relationship, where you have a defender, you have a guy with the ball, and everyone is involved in the defense on the play. But realistically, you're like focused in on, okay, this matchup between this one guy and this one guy who has the ball, or they're both going for the ball. But you don't have like multiple people rallying to go for the ball. Most of the time, they're sort of in their space, playing their zones and doing what they do. So maybe soccer is a little bit easier. And golf for sure is easier because it's really just one person with the ball, and then there's the shot. And so it's sort of you and the golf course, and then that interaction is really all there is in golf. And so golf, I went back and looked at my golf game, and I think there are definitely areas that I would look at again to try to smooth that out. If you're interested in that, you can email me and I'll send you the link. There's a demo out there, and it's got like made up fictional golfers, and uses a 4D6 system. So 2 for the x-axis, 2 for the y-axis, and it kind of has this little center matrix kind of thing going on. It's interesting, and I've got one full golf course for it. It's the Georgia course, and I haven't played it for a while, but it can be maybe a little bit tedious, but I think it's an interesting take for sure on golf. Different than the same, but different, kind of in between an arcade and a simulation style. So that's enough. I don't want to keep going in this video. Boston wins over New York. I hope you have a good Memorial Day weekend. It's coming up. Hope you have good weather where you are. It's supposed to rain here, so who knows how it's going to be, but it'll be good for the grass, I guess. If you want to play this game and you want to test it out, I'm looking for people to play 10 to 20 games and just kind of give me your thoughts, your ideas about the game. So if this gets you excited watching it, email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, or you can go and join the Facebook group and then go into the files section for the Clark and Addison Gaming Company Facebook group. Download the files. Everything is there in a zip file for you to play, and then you can play out the games. Print whatever teams you want. We have 8 teams available. So starting with the Arizona Diamondbacks, the A, and then going to Cleveland to the Guardians. So everything between Arizona and Cleveland in alphabetical order is going to be in the game demo for you to play. So that's both Chicago teams, Boston, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Atlanta, Arizona. And so that you got a pretty good mix of teams there, NL, AL, good, bad, in the middle, and there's definitely a good number of teams. And you'll get all of the players, batters who got at least 20 at bats, and then pitchers who faced at least 20 batters. So you get a pretty good chunk of players. I mean, these are just the Yankee pitchers here. I mean, it's a lot of pitchers. So even if a guy got into just a handful of games, you're going to be able to play with them here. There's going to be a lot of players I'm not going to use because they came up for a cup of coffee or whatever. But you do have access to those players, and you can play those out. And you'll get all the charts here that you see. Everything that I've used today, you'll be able to use. I did make one change to the runner advancement, but it was more like a terminology change. So instead of saying this said score over here, but first to third, you're not scoring. But essentially it means success. So I just changed it to advance. That's all the things that I did. So if you want to try it out, let me know how it goes. and I'm still adding to the game. I'm still thinking about things that we could put in. I'm working on the narrative-based fielding for converting this chart, at least for ground balls, into a narrative-based fielding system. And that would basically be when you get a ground ball, you roll again, and you look on the narrative-based fielding chart at the roll range, and then it'll just tell you the play. It'll tell you the play, what happens. It'll tell you what happens with the base running, if there's any options for you to make. So that'll be kind of a fun little thing. And then off of that play, it could trigger highlight plays, which will be good as well. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.